Hello all my dear students, welcome back to Prudence Coaching. As you know, in the previous video we have started with the story The Proposal written by Anton Chekhov. In the previous video we have learned about the story, about the author and also the summary of this particular story. In this particular video you will learn about the story and followed by the question answers. So let us go through about the story before starting with the question answers. Story. The proposal, originally titled A Marriage Proposal. So this story was originally named as The Marriage Proposal. Is one-act play. So this is a play which has only one act in it. A farce by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov. He was born in the year 1860 and died in the year 1904. It was written in 1888 to 89. This one-act play is about the tendency of wealthy Russian families or people to seek marriage ties with other wealthy families or people to increase their estates by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Even Lomo comes to seek the hand of Chubukov's 25 years old daughter Natalia. All three are quarrelsome. They quarrel over petty issues. The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all the quarreling. But economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made successful. After all, although the quarrel perhaps continues. First question. What does Chubukov at first suspect that Lomo has come for? Is he sincere when he later says, "And I have always loved you, my angel, as if you were my own son"? Find reason for your answer from the play. Answer. At first, Chubukov suspected that Lomo had come to borrow money as he was in the evening dress. He was not sincere when he told Lomo that he had always loved him and that he was like his own son, because he had decided not to give any money to Lomo. It was only when Lomo asked for his daughter's hand in marriage that his attitude changed and he rushed out to call his daughter Natalia. Chubukov says of Natalia, as if she owned consent, she is in love-edged. She is like a lovesick cat. Would you agree? Give reason for your answer. Answer. Yes, Natalia is in love. This is clear by the way she behaves when she gets to know that Lomo came to propose to her. She starts weeping and asks her father to bring Lomo at once. Next question. What was Lomo's cause of going to Chubukov's house? What was his dress? What was Chubukov's reaction to see Lomo? Lomo went to Chubukov's house with a marriage proposal for his daughter Natalia. Lomo put on a dress jacket and white gloves. Lomo was received warmly by Chubukov. He addressed Lomo as my darling, my angel, my treasure, etc. At first, Chubukov thought that Lomo had come to borrow money, but he said to himself that he won't give him any. Chubukov then asked Lomo about his intention for visiting his place. Lomo replied that he came to ask for Natalia's hand in marriage. Chubukov, hearing this, became extremely happy and embraced Lomo. According to Chubukov, Lomo is suitable for Natalia. Next question. Why is the marriage proposal in the play The Proposal important to all characters? Anton Chekhov's play, The Proposal, is one-act play. The play deals with 19th century Russian society, where marriage is considered as an important institution. In the play, all the characters are some way or the other influenced by the marriage proposal. Lomo has reached the critical age of mid-30, so he is desperate for a wife. He decides to marry Natalia, considering that she would make a useful housewife. Natalia is willing to marry a rich man like Lomo, but she has not found her dream man. Natalia becomes a lovesick cat as she cannot find her man. Chubukov thinks her daughter is a burden and wants to get her married soon. In this way, the marriage proposal becomes a very important to all characters. What are the reasons that Lomo wants to marry Natalia? Answer. Lomo is one of the major characters in Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal. He is 35 years old. He is eligible bachelor. He visits Chekhov's house to propose Natalia, but puts a few reasons why he should marry. According to him, he is mid-30, so should marry immediately. He also wants to lead a quiet and normal life. He suffers from palpitation. He is excitable and he always gets upset. He cannot sleep at night. Whenever he gets into bed, his left side gives pull. This pulling happens again and again. These are the reasons that Lomo wants to marry Natalia. Next question. You are not a neighbor, you are a grabber. Who says this? To whom is this said? Why is this said? In Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal, Lomo said this to Chubukov. Here never means Chubukov and his daughter Natalia. Lomo said this in a hot debate with Chubukov and Natalia over the ownership of oxen meadows. There was a war of words between the two parties. Both the parties are claiming that oxen meadows as their own. At the conclusion of the debate, Lomov could not keep his balance intact and began to shout. He was not in a mood to talk to him calmly or politely, as Chubukov denied giving up his claim for oxen meadows. Lemov committed that Chubukov was not a good neighbor at all, rather he was a land grabber. Next question. Discuss Anton Chekhov's attitude towards marriage as revealed in his play The Proposal. Anton Chekhov has satirized marriage in his play The Proposal. The author has cast the Russian society in his time where marriage was nothing but purely a business deal. Property and wealth were essential criteria for marriage. In the play, we find Natalia and Lomov decided to get married, though they do not love, rather despise each other. Even Chubukov detests Lomov, yet he is desperate to get them married. Natalia herself takes recourse to lie and throwing tantrums to ensure that Lomov is entrapped. Ironically, Lomov could not bring himself to utter the proposal in front of Natalia, yet her father declared that she was willing and she followed suit. Lomov also doesn't like the Chubukov family, but he has his own reason to marry Natalia. Marriage thus become a business deal, as Chubukov rightly points out. There is a merchant come for his goods. Next question. Describe the character of Lomov. Lomov is a funny character in the play The Proposal. The author has brilliantly sketched the character of Lomov. He is 35 years old. He is hesitating in nature. He is egoistic. He is actually hypochondriac, a person who thinks he is always sick. He gets excited easily and he is extremely nervous. He tries to propose to Natalia but cannot do the same because he is nervous. His points of discussion always shift marriage proposal to some other things like oxen meadows and pet dogs. He is ridiculous in making his decision. Thus, we can say that he is fickle-minded. Bob's argumentative nature and his nervous representation make him an interesting and funny character. Next question. Describe the character of Natalia. Natalia is one of the major characters in Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal. The author has brilliantly sketched the character of Natalia. She is 25 years old. She is pretty and well educated. She is an expert in managing home affairs as well as agricultural work. Natalia is argumentative in nature and suffers from hysteria. She is adamant and equally challenges Lomov in hot debate. When Lomov exists and she comes to know about his marriage proposal, she behaves like a lovesick cat. She becomes highly tense when Lomov is found dead, like an armchair. She becomes happy when Lomo revives from faintness. Being the only female character in the play, she has played the most important part. Next question. Comment on the character of Chubukov. Chubukov is one of the major characters in Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal. The author has brilliantly sketched the character of Chubukov. He is in his 70s. He is a big landowner. He is also a shrewd businessman. He has a daughter named Natalia. He is conscious regarding his daughter's marriage. When Lomo asks his daughter's hand in marriage, Chubukov becomes delighted. He regards Lomo as his own son. But when he sees his daughter Natalia engaged in a hot exchange of words with Lomo, he takes the side of his daughter. He even abuses his would-be son-in-law. He is a habit of saying all that and so on, now and then, and thus adding spice to the comic situation. Undoubtedly, Chubukov is a lovable character. Next question. Chekhov's The Proposal is a farcical comedy. Explain. Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal, is a farcical comedy full of laughter, fun and humor due to the silly behavior of all characters present in the play. All the characters, Chubukov, Lomo and Natalia, are funny. The manners of the character, their dialogues and the situation have made the play a hilarious one. They quarreled over a matter when Lomo came to discuss his marriage with Natalia. Marriage is a serious issue that is to be discussed peacefully and seriously. Their argument is highly comical, which arises between them during the discussion regarding marriage. The humor is low as they call each other with different names like Pop, Intrigo, etc. So it is appropriate to say that the play The Proposal is farcical comedy. Justify The Proposal as one-act play. A one-act play is written concisely. There are few characters and single sitting. Moreover, there is a unity of time, place and action. Chekhov's play The Proposal is set in the house of Chubukov and also ends there. In the play, there are only three characters, Chubukov, Lomo and Natalia. The drama begins suddenly with Chekhov's assertion and with an insignificant conversation. There is a little scope of development of character or plot in the play. In the course of time, the marriage proposal becomes important to every character. All the characters revolve around the theme of the play in the single act, the drawing room of Chubukov's house. To sum up, it can be said that The Proposal is a good example of a one-act play. From the argument of Natalia, Lomo and Chubukov compares the hunting dogs, Gaze and Squeezer. Compares the hunting dogs, Gaze and Squeezer. According to you, which is the funniest episode in the play? The Proposal by Anton Chekhov. From the argument of Natalia, Lomo and Chubukov, we get a clear picture of comparison between two dogs, Gaze and Squeezer. The argument about the dog is one of the funniest episodes in Anton Chekhov's The Proposal. Natalia asks Lomo about his hunting plans. For this, he mentioned that his dog Gaze has become lame. They then start arguing about the superiority of their dogs. Natalia comments that he is a lot to spend 125 rubles on Gaze. They have a better dog, Squeezer, cost only 85 rubles. Lomo pointed out Squeezer's flaws. It is overshot, therefore it is a bad hunter. Natalia describes Squeezer as a pure dog and Gaze as dirty, old and ugly, worn-out cab horse. Meanwhile, Natalia's father Chubukov joined the fray. He pointed out that Gaze is old and short in muzzle. Thus, their stupid argument makes the play hilarious. What is the focus of the play? Is it a character? Is it action? Is it the unpredictability of the people? Explain your answer. The play, The Proposal, is not a character-centric. There are characters, namely Chubukov, Natalia and Lomo. The Chubukov is screwed business-like. He is father of Natalia. He has no emotions, passions and feelings. His only desire is to see her daughter Natalia get married. Natalia too longs for a rich husband. Her suitor Lomo is desperate to offer a proposal to her. Again, there is a little action in the play. The whole play contains some ridiculous scenes. Next question. What is ironic about Natalia's request to bring Lomo back? In Chekhov's one-act play, The Proposal, it is ironic that Natalia asks her father, Chobokov, to bring Lomo back after he leaves the house. The father-daughter duo argues bitterly with him all the time over the issue of land ownership. Natalia and her father abuse Lomo and his family and nearly kick him out of the house. They vented their rage upon him by calling him rascal, monster, etc. But when Chobokov mentions that Lomo came with a proposal for marriage, Natalia gets overwhelmingly excited. She behaves like a lovesick cat. She wants her father to call Lomo back as she becomes desperate to marry him. It is ironic that whom she has called a rascal only a while ago now becomes so important to her.
Hello all my dear students, with this we come to the end of this particular video. If you find the content of this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends. Students, if you want to directly communicate with the expert faculties of this particular channel, you will get the link of the Telegram group in the description box. So join it and contact with us. Bye bye students, have a nice day, see you in the next class.